is the old bowling alley next to the old roller rink. This is the old part of Aurora, or at least the old part for me. This is where I used to grow up. It's little farmlands and everything like that. Everything looks a little war-torn because fall kind of was skipped over here. As you can see, the trees kind of still have their leaves on, and winter kind of hit us quickly. The old parts of Aurora. We're actually coming up on the old condo that we used to live at for about 6-7 years. We're on Farnsworth right now. If you go over there somewhere, that's where Phillips Water Park is. We used to go to that water park every single summer, and that was basically vacation for us for a long time. You know, with the exception of going up to Wisconsin Dells. I'm not sure why I'm narrating, but I dropped off Dad at the rehabilitation center. It's going to be about 2 hours. I need to do some stuff, return some things from Ella's birthday, and maybe buy some new things. It's just up this way, up the old route. It's a little dangerous because that's the old church. Big landmark, always past that. Around here is also Christmas Village. There's like a little neighborhood, a specific street, in fact, that goes all out for Christmas. And it's kind of a tradition. Everyone goes to that street and kind of drives around. Very nice. I don't know if they're doing it anymore now. That used to be like a kind of a 90s thing. But a couple of people still do it. You can imagine if this was your old neighborhood, how much nicer the areas that we moved to in the future were. It's kind of nice though. It's like an old foresty area for some reason. Never quite thought about it as a kid, but there's just a lot of parts that were just forest. I keep passing our street. I think it's up there. I thought it was back there. I've been going around in circles for a little bit, but I think it's up here. It's hard to remember the exact street. Okay, it was this one. This looks very familiar. Definitely this one. Breckenridge. Definitely with especially with the stone. I can't talk. Wow. This is all weird and familiar. Weird and familiar. Farnswood. This street used to not be there. Kind of a remote area. Oh, there's a church. Lutheran. Okay, all this, man. See how close we were to the big woods? Felt kind of cool. This is O'Donnell. This is my old elementary school. Went here for a couple grades. Maybe 2 grades. 2nd and 3rd grade, I think. 4th grade I went to Calvary. Nothing's really changed except this big block wing here. And this is my neighborhood, the old Perry Court neighborhood. Very weird to be back. There's some kids playing over there. That's where we lived, 1590. Right there, right at the end of the blue building. Gonna get out and walk around for a little bit. I don't know where to park. So all those houses are brand new. That just used to be field, like just prairie. That used to be a pool. Maybe I can turn up a little bit. That used to be a pool over there. And they got rid of the pool. They kind of filled it in with grass. I decided to get out of the car because, I don't know, wasn't doing too well in the big van, going around the small streets and stuff. But yeah, this is my old elementary school. There's kids over there playing on the playground. And that's an aspen grove. I never knew that before. You can see how it was heavily wooded, especially over by the playground. It's probably why I like trees so much. It's because it just felt like you're in the middle of nowhere, even though you're in the middle of a urban area. And wow. You know, this place feels big and small at the same time. Kind of go into our building over here. Jeff lived over here. He was I wouldn't say buddy, but he went to my school. There was kind of neighborhood kids that you were kind of forced to hang out with and play with. I didn't really like those guys that much, but hung out with them anyway. There was never really any bond or connection. But the guy named Jeff was right there. And then there was some other kids. They all lived very close by. Our bikes were like our horses, and this was our kingdom. It's kind of weird. All these sidewalks kind of connect to different streets and stuff. And it was cool how they all connected. Of course, as a kid, this seemed huge, like a giant maze. You know, the sidewalk goes that way, cuts over, you can cut across. It's all over the place. It was kind of cool. And here is our little apartment. I don't know what year we moved in, but it was our first apartment, kind of away from the city. Kind of moved into the suburbs. I think it might have been like 3 years or something. I remember moving into the new house maybe in 97 or 8. So that'd be either like 2 or 3 years. It wasn't that long, but definitely worthy in my memory. Some of these bushes are the original bushes. I think maybe those Mom planted. I'm not entirely sure. Hey, and that was my room up there with the balcony. Love that balcony. Always wanted a telescope so I can see the stars. That's the living room area up there. It's kind of weird. This all was basically the garage, and it was be like a laundry room and stairs going up to the actual living quarters up there. Other people that actually do live on the first floor, but our entrance is just on the first floor. See, right next to us is a ranch style home. And this whole area got flooded back in the 90s. I'm sure there's some video of that on the channel. But all this was flooded about maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet in some places. Because we're kind of in like a valley area, and there's a river over there by those trees, and that didn't help. So all these houses that were ground level got flooded pretty bad. It was pretty big news back in the day. Not a lot of the insurance companies would take on the damage, so very interesting. This street, I don't know if I had any friends on this neighborhood street, but I do remember that garage at the very end lived an old guy, and I think he was a carpenter, because he would always build the neighborhood kids like bike ramps that we could launch ourselves from, and it was the coolest thing. And yeah, we were, he'd just make it and like leave it out for us, and we would use it, and he'd be like, we would ask him to build bigger ramps. It's kind of a weird situation. Good old days. Yeah, we would like take off down the street, and then we would launch into the grass over there. Good times. All those houses were not there before. This was all just open prairie through the trees. Those houses weren't there, just open prairie. We're basically the only development here. So you could imagine, as kids that lived in this area, we kind of ruled the neighborhood. Going backwards here. It's actually a nice time of year. You get all the trees and the leaves kind of sort of in color. Would have been maybe better in the summertime. I've explored this area a few times, but not really gone into it in depth. There's one time where I think Bethany and Michelle, we all kind of visited the old place. There might be some video of that, like maybe a couple years ago. I kind of have this weird dream of if I'm ever rich one day, I'd buy back all the homes that I'd lived in. Across the street, we're gonna go over here a little bit. Sorry if this seems long and boring, but gosh, a lot of memories. I remember this area was the exact spot where I learned how to bike without training wheels. There was a rock somewhere, a big rock, and my training wheel just hit the rock, and I didn't know, and I was just doing it. I remember this little pathway right here. This fence is missing right here, but this was, boy, it seems a lot sinister back then, but it just seemed like two walls were like enclosing you at this spot. And if you can imagine, not going that way, there's the pool over there, the defunct pool. But these little tiny sidewalks were like zigzags all over the place. And if you can imagine us as neighborhood kids just zigzagging like crazy through this entire neighborhood as fast as we could, just from one end to the other. We would play games like Cowboys and Indians and Cops and Robbers. Basically just chasing games. Oh no, they cut down the tree. So this was a cool area. This is where the street becomes like a T over there. A lot of the times we like to use our bikes to like slide and do tricks with. One of the stupidest things is, you see that little tiny bush, tree bush right there? Well, that used to be a pretty big tree with a low-hanging branch, and what we would do is we would, from that angle, we would, as fast as we could, kind of rode towards this tree, jump off, and try to land in the tree on the low-hanging branch. And that was a trick that we used to do. Wow, this is weird. So what this is, I've never seen this before, but I've seen it in Yellowstone. When the snow hits, it's to tell people where the sidewalk is when they shovel. So it saves a little bit of time. All those. They even did it in the streets. It's kind of weird. I'm going down here. You know, now that I've actually walked it, it seems like a very small neighborhood. Just like 3 streets. 1, 2, 3. This is where most of the friends lived, just because this is the biggest area somewhere. I don't exactly know where they live, but I think one person lived right there. I'm not sure. That door, that house, very close to the school over there. We'd walk to school every day, and coming over this way. Yeah, this is the neighborhood. This was my childhood for like 2 or 3 years, just bicycling. I liked stars. I was into like astronomy. I don't know how old I was. It was like 9, 10, and 11, I think. 9, 10, 11. Early years. Still didn't care about girls. I think. I actually don't remember. I don't think there was any girls in this neighborhood. I don't remember us talking about it, so I guess not. It's weird. I don't know what they're doing, but see where those barrels are? You can almost tell that just open area of grass right there used to be a giant pool, and it was the best thing in the world because the pool pass was like $5 a month for the whole family, and we would go there and we would play in the pool, and it was so close to the house. I don't know why I was so excited every time we went to. Oh, this area. This is an interesting area. This is just a big circle sidewalk. And Michelle's friend used to live there. I remember going over to their house and for some reason watching Brave Little Toaster. That's all I remember. But yep. Going over to the pool house. Oh, I forgot a story. Right where the blacktop ends right there. That was where there was 2 brothers, a little guy and a big fat guy. That's all I can remember. we were playing cops and robbers once, and in a line, just a line of bikes rolling as fast as we could over this section, and I was standing right here waiting for everybody, and the older brother, he skidded and he stopped. He kind of did one of these, and his little brother behind him just hit the side of his bike, and he flew off, just flew off, and he impaled his face onto the ground, and he was crying like a little baby. It was kind of scary. There was blood everywhere, and he was like, there was teeth on the sidewalk and on the gravel. It was, I still remember that in slow motion to this day. He had, fortunately, I think they were all still baby teeth. I don't really remember, but he had to get, I don't know, some inserts or whatever. It was pretty bad. His front 2 teeth were busted off completely, and that was not pretty. That was not pretty. That was like my last memory of playing with those guys. Probably didn't want to play much, but you remember Jeff? I was talking to you about him at the beginning of the video, but he lived in my building just at the other end. We weren't too close, but one of my memories with him is, well, it's not here anymore, but where those bushes were, it's kind of an enclosed area, the whole thing. And there was, back in the day, there was giant kind of air conditioning units. So we snuck in there once. For some reason, I have no idea, because we were boys and stupid. But there was a hive of bees in there. And we disturbed the hive of bees, and they started attacking us like crazy, and he was running all over the place. Oh man, and the beast actually stung me in the thumb. It was the weirdest thing. So I had a swollen thumb for a long time, but he got pretty bad. He got buzzed in the face, I think, and so he had like big welts on his face. Yep, good times. Good times. This all used to be different. It's like a lounge or something. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, there's some workers right here. And this is the road that we would take to go to the pool. Such a cool feeling. I don't know. Life seemed so simple back then. It was just simple joys. You wouldn't think your neighborhood pool would be that exciting, especially, you know, if you saw it every day and it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, got pretty excited when Mom told us that we were gonna go to the pool. Wow, I can't believe how small everything is. It's just so close together. In my mind, it just seemed like, oh yeah, like a bike ride, like I gotta do this zigzag, this. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Going back to the house. Wow, this is a 12-minute video. This is insane. I probably should get back. Dad's therapy is soon to be over. One of the memories I've had is, man, these buildings just seemed really tall when I was a kid. They seem very short now, but I remember having one of those giant foam airplanes, and I would just fling it in like little circles, and it got stuck on that roof, and I never saw it again. That was a sad day. In one of the videos you probably see that on my 9th birthday party, or my 9th birthday, I was surprised by a bicycle right there. Looks a little different. They took away the rocks. Well, I like those rocks. We used to collect big rocks from, nope, car's coming. I always get a little nervous when there's people watching me film. Now, in this day and age, everyone's kind of on their toes about everything. So talking about those rocks, there were a lot of big rocks that we used to collect in Wisconsin and bring it back here. And just a couple years ago, they were there. And I told everyone, hey, we should steal some of these rocks back. They're our rocks. They're from vacation. But of course, everyone thought that was weird. And now they're no longer there. I don't know what they did with them. Oh well. This parking lot used to just be gravel. Everything was associated with bikes back then, and all I can remember is, oh man, it's so rough on the tires of my bikes. I'm just gonna go on the grass. The bicycle was king. And it was pretty cool. Back there, kind of following the power lines, was the Illinois Prairie Path. And if you were able to get over there and get on the Prairie Path, you could go for a good 1 or 2 miles before you got scared or tired that you're going too far from home, and you would bike back. Man, look at those woods. That's so cool. What time is it? So I've decided to explore these trees a little more. I have a little bit more time. I remember me and my dad hitting a baseball over there in that field. Bethany too. Just hitting the ball. You know, they took it down, but now they have a little dinky playground. But they used to have this amazing, huge playground. Probably super unsafe for today's standards, but there was this gigantic slide. Probably not as big as it actually was, but it seemed gigantic. And it was all made out of wood. It was the coolest thing. So as you can see, you can probably see this, it's very kind of flooded over here. This area is very, very low. I was talking about the flood earlier, and this kind of proves it. Just a little bit of melted snow, and you just have little ponds where there really shouldn't be any ponds. Kind of a testament to how low this ground is. Wouldn't take much water to flood. Ooh, look at these. These are definitely aspen. Aspen's my favorite tree. So, I always gotta get up close to them. Ah! That's a cool shot. I remember me and my dad and my family, we would just go into the woods for no reason. I think we built a snowman somewhere around here. You'll see pictures of it, but you'll also see pictures of us just in these woods. Just playing and laughing. Probably also why I love the woods so much. Little early memories like that. Gotta go around. I think I see a path over there. I don't want to get too close to the school though, because it's still in school hours. I might just head over here. I don't know what to do. I just don't want to get in trouble. Hear that? It's like water running. It's weird. I'm gonna head over here. I'm not gonna mess with a public school. See, I'm used to private schools where you can pretty much get away with anything because they trust you. But no. Full-grown man in an elementary public school? Don't think so. Well, you know what? Just walking this seems very far. I can't imagine back in the day with your bike how that would have felt. I remember, was it winter or summer? I think it was summer or something like that. John Koski's dad friend, sometimes he would come over and stay at our house when he was driving through. Boy, I don't know if it was winter. I remember one time in winter, he loved to cross-country ski, and he would always force us to go on his cross-country skis, and we would go around that neighborhood, and I was stuck once because my skis got crossed and I fell over, and I just sat on the ground for like 15 minutes. I think I yelled help a couple times, but I wasn't really serious. I was more tired than anything, and this old little lady came out and helped me, and I was like, oh, thank you. I was a little embarrassed because I could probably have helped myself. I was just resting more than anything. Need an excuse not to cross-country ski. But anyway, going over here, so John Koski was a PE teacher back in the day. So of course he's used to forcing kids to do things against their will. So what he did with me is he made me jog all the way over here. And I thought we were done, but once we got to the trail, this is a little shortcut to the trail, he forced me to run that way for a mile. And he knew it was a mile. He had like some kind of smart, like, I don't know what he had. Maybe we just saw the signs or something, but he forced me to run a mile that way and a mile back. And I think he wanted me to jog back home, and I said, no, I don't think so. As you can see, there's the street over there, Farnsworth. Boy, I heard something. You gotta watch out. Since this area is like half wild, as you can see, it's there's actually coyotes over here. And I hope they're scared of people. Oh, this bridge is cool. I remember this bridge back in the day. Yeah, this bridge. Back when it was flooded. See that little pond over there? So imagine that, but everything was flooded. This entire basin was flooded. And this was flooded with water. This is the only high ground here. So of course this is like the little route out of the flood area. But yeah, I remember this. This goes all the way over there. Man, this bridge in my, because this is the only bridge around. This is the only bridge in my childhood. I thought this was such an epic looking bridge. It actually still looks kind of sweet. It's awesome. Look at that. Oh, I'm just rambling. Oh my gosh, look. See, I told you how wild it is. It's like a family of deer over there, just chilling. This is beautiful. Look at this. You know, it's not a bad area at all. The actual, you know, where people live is kind of ghetto. A little bit back in the day, but we picked a pretty good spot. We were surrounded by nature. I actually didn't realize it. I just took it for granted. But this is literally a stone's throw, maybe like 100 stone throws away from the house. See the school over there. And this is the actual legitimate Illinois Prairie Path. So this baby goes for like 20, 30 miles. And it's just amazing. I'm gonna bother the deer over there. They're just like, who the heck is this guy? Another day, another time. For some reason we never really went this way, because I guess Farnsworth is right there. And you know, you'd have to cross a busy street, so it just kind of cuts you off. But we used to go this way a lot, because there's nothing for miles down this road. It's pretty cool. Going back into civilization. You can probably hear all the electricity going through these power lines right now.